The United States Steel Corporation, 500,000 employees and stockholders, presents the Theater Guild on the Air. United States Steel is happy to bring you the Theater Guild, one of America's foremost producers of stage plays. The Theater Guild, which presented over 150 plays in the American theater, comes to you now over the air. Tonight we bring you Walter Kerr's joyous American musical, Sing Out, Sweet Land, with Burl Ives, the wayfaring stranger, leading singer of American folk songs, Arthur Godfrey, well-known radio personality, as narrator, Phoebe Osterwald, musical comedian, Josh White, famous singer of Negro ballads, Betty Jane Watson, leading lady of the Theater Guild's Oklahoma, J. Scott Smart, Will Geer, some singers from the chorus of Oklahoma, and Josh White Quartet. And here is Lawrence Langner, co-director with Teresa Halburn of the Theater Guild, to tell you something about the play and its players. Mr. Langner.
Thank you, Mr. Brokenshire. Ladies and gentlemen, our play tonight is Walter Kerr's Sing Out, Sweet Land, the first ever given to be based upon popular American folk songs. It teems with the songs of the farms, the high roads, the railroads, the rivers, the mountains, and the prairies. Starting from Puritan days and going down through the Revolution and the Civil War to present times, it is alive with fragrant musical reminders of our pioneers, our patriots, and our nameless minstrels who've made American ballads the finest in the world. The hero of our musical is Barnaby Goodchild. Like two other famous Americans, Paul Bunyan and Johnny Appleseed, he's a legendary figure and never grows old. Barnaby is a vagrant singer with a restless foot, and so is Burl Ives, the wayfaring stranger, who plays and sings the part of Barnaby tonight. Like Barnaby, Ives is happiest when roaming the roads. With his appearance with us in New York in this musical last winter, he achieved a certain respectability which has aroused the suspicions of his old cronies.
And now the curtain rises on the Theater Guild production of Walter Kerr's musical, Sing Out, Sweet Land, presented by the United States Steel Corporation. Sing Out, Sweet Land.
Sing out, sing out, sing out, sweet land. There's not very much that men can do by working together and singing through, and the best that we do is try. Sing out, sweet land.
You mean to tell me you never heard of Barnaby? Barnaby Goodchild? You mean to say your mother nor your father never told you about him?
I don't think so.
Boy, the education of your heart is being sadly neglected.
Who is this Barnaby? Does he live around here?
Live around here? Well, that depends. Sometimes he does. Of course, I've seen him around here all right, and I imagine you will too before long. Especially now you know what to look for and listen for.
What's he look like?
Look like? Well...
And where's he from, and how old is he, and what does he do?
Well, I guess about as good a place to start as any is the time 300 years ago when Barnaby Goodchild was a handsome young fellow with a roving eye and a roving foot and a hankering to have a good time. 300 years ago, you know, it wasn't exactly fashionable to enjoy yourself. It landed young Barnaby in the Puritan stocks, locked up as a public example, while Parson Killjoy pointed a long, skinny finger at him and held him up as a frightful object lesson to his Puritan congregation.
Hey, look at him.
Poor boy.
Handsome lad with all.
Children of sorrow, children of woe, I have brought ye forth to observe this sinner locked in the stocks.
Good day to thee, Parson.
Quiet, sinner. He was discovered this Sabbath day pursuing follies we crossed the ocean to shun, singing profane songs on the Sabbath, dancing on the public road, and last night, whistling neath Priscilla's window. Priscilla Foster, Did he not whistle 'neath thy window?
He
Do
did.
you think I know not what this leads to? Next to the pressing of the nose against the pane, then the opening of the window a little, then the opening of the window more, then the leaning of the head out, and then
The catching of the cold?
silence. Begotten of Satan, thou hast not even a name.
He calls himself Barnaby Goodchild.
Barnaby, good child. Home with ye all, good people, before brimstone destroys ye utterly for the crimes ye've witnessed today. Begone, Priscilla, succor not evil. And as for thee, sinner, thou hast distracted the godly from their pursuits. I leave thee to repent thy sin.
Gotta repent my sins.
Barnaby,
Priscilla,
I think I am able to set thee free, Barnaby.
hast thou stolen the key from the parson?
I have my means. See? There.
Priscilla Foster, what dost thou do? But the devil alone could ope that lock. Priscilla Foster, thou art a witch.
Oh, no, no.
Else how hast thou opened the unlock?
With her hairpin, parson.
Hairpin, witch thee, thou hast spirited the boy.
Parson, if I show thee plain how yon hairpin could ope yon lock, would thou then not burn Priscilla for a witch?
Thou canst not do it.
Come hither, parson, I'll show thee. Put thy hands in the stocks.
Yeah.
So, now.
Right.
'Tis locked. Look thee. Into this lock I place the hairpin. Observe that it be twisted to and fro, to and fro.
What happens?
Nothing.
It doesn't ope.
Nope.
And dost thou know what to do now?
Yep, run.
A trick, a trick!
Barnaby!
Barnaby, good child, I bid ye go. From henceforth never come into good company. None shall feed ye, and none shall house ye, and ye must wander the desolate roads with thy singing and dancing forever.
It's quite a curse.
Oh, do not fear it, Barnaby. We might have been happy here, thou and I, but thy roving foot would not be stilled. If thou must wander the roads forever, 'tis lightness of heart you will bring to folk. And with all their woe, they'll need thee in thy singing.
Goodbye, Priscilla.
Goodbye, Barnaby. Goodbye, Barnaby. Goodbye.
Well, next time Barnaby was seen, it was after the Revolution. And the way my father's father told it to me, he saw this Barnaby walking down the road, and he recognized him by the song on his lips. He said that Barnaby was smiling as broad as the arch of the sky, and tickling his guitar, too.
Way down the Ohio, my little boat I steer, in hopes that a pretty girl on the banks will appear. I'll hug her and I'll kiss her till my mind is at ease. Then I'll turn my back on her and court whom I please. Oh, way down the Ohio, a little fish did play, in hopes that an angleworm would wriggle his way. This worm I provided, he decided to munch. That's how he got his breakfast, and I got my lunch.
Well, my father's father told me that Barnaby went off down the road that led to the wilderness, until at length he came to a clearing where there was a log cabin. And on the stump of a beegum tree in front of the cabin sat a man sawing away on his fiddle. Same tune over and over, same part of the same tune, over and over and over. Barnaby walked up to this man and said to him,
Howdy, stranger. I'm not a man for repeating myself, but how do you do, stranger?
Pretty much as I please. Mean to go right on doing it, too.
Stranger, sir, can I stay here for the night?
Out here in the road? Sure thing.
Friend, sir, I'm feeling tired. I've been wandering all over this country. Can I spend the night under your roof?
Not without you get wet. The roof leaks.
Then why don't you mend it?
Been raining a lot. Can't do it in the rain.
Then why don't you do it when it ain't raining?
Don't leak, then.
Well, why in the name of sin don't you play the rest of that tune? The part that goes...
Hey, stranger, can you play the rest of that tune?
Can I? What'd I get myself born for?
If you can play the rest of that tune, you can stay in my cabin the rest of your natural life. We make a shakedown on the floor and let the dog sleep atop of you for warmth.
I can play it, friend, sir. I can play it.
Molly Weston, He knows the rest of the tune. Alice, Lemuel, drop your plow and come a-running. Billy boy, fly around, get some corn dowsers and bacon for the gentleman. He knows the rest of the tune.
I start right off with a dump-diddle-dump.
Old Ned's broke loose from Georgia.
Skunk cabbage growing by the big gum stump.
Whippoorwill, you're singing now.
Old Georgia booze is mighty fine booze. The best you ever poured ya.
But it eats the soles right off in your shoe.
When Hades broke loose from Georgia.
My mother was a whippoorwill pert. The father, he was lazy. But him plumb broke loose in a new sport shirt. The fiddle America crazy.
Hop in, the girl hop out. Swing-a-lee. Swing that down, pretty little gal, the gal that stands beside you. Do-dee-do. Swing that gal, pretty little gal.
Reckon I can have some cornbread now and stay the night?
Stranger, you can stay till kingdom come.
Can stay? Why, he's got to stay.
You got it.
Sure
You
does,
never can let him go.
Oh, I've got to be moving along with the first breeze in the morning. The roads are whispering to me.
Oh, no,
You can't shut us up like that.
What is all this fooling around out here?
Uh-oh. Roads are calling louder all the time.
Dancing and fiddling when there's work to be done. Ain't no time for singing in the wilderness.
Excuse me, but did you ever have a twin brother who was a parson named Killjoy?
No sass out of you.
Out of me? Oh, no, sir.
And you, Mary Jane, you won't do your chores. You won't bring me no young husband to do my work for me.
You looking for a husband for Mary Jane? How about this stranger here?
So, you want to marry my daughter, do you?
No, sir. Let me repeat. No, sir. I'm too young to get married.
Here now, let me get in on this discussion. After all, I'm the gal's mother.
Ma'am, speak to me fair. What's your opinion of the wedded state?
When I was single, when I was single, when I was single, a kiss made me tingle. I wish I were single again. I wish I were single again. He was handsome and taller then. He was handsome and taller then. He was handsome and tall, but brother, that's all. I wish I were single again. I wish I were single again. He had lots of hair, amen. He had lots of hair, amen. He'd enough for a nest, now it's all on his chest. I wish I were single again. I wish I were single again.
Enough of this shilly-shallying. Do he marry my daughter, or don't he?
He don't.
He do.
He do.
But wait, maybe I don't want to.
Don't cry none, Mary Jane. Don't worry. I'm a bachelor now, and I'm going to stay a bachelor. When I was a bachelor, I lived all alone. I worked at the weaver's trade. And the only thing that I did that was wrong was to woo a fair young maid. I wooed her in the winter time, part of the summer too. And the only thing that I did that was wrong was to keep her from the foggy dew. One night she knelt close by my side when I was fast asleep. She threw her arms around my neck and then began to weep. She wept, she cried, she tore her hair. Ah me, what could I do? So all night long I held her in my arms, just to keep her from the foggy dew. Again I am a bachelor, I live with my son. We work at the weaver's trade. And every single time that I look into his eyes, he reminds me of the fair young maid. He reminds me of the winter time, part of of the summer too, and of the many, many times that I held her in my arms, just to keep her from the foggy, foggy dew.
That's a good song, mister, but not good enough.
Well, wait a minute.
I speak for the whole community in saying you've got to marry up with Mary Jane. So you stay here and fiddle for us every night.
Now, wait.
Carry around. We're tying him up this minute.
Now, wait a minute, folks.
Say, Indian.
Hey, wait for me. You going to wait to protect me?
Hello.
Just one of you? Where are all your relatives?
No relatives. Me high up in trees. Two people. See you unhappy. Not one bride. Me like you. Me baby. Make big noise. Woo!
Little squaw, I owe you my thanks. Thank you, little squaw.
No squaw. Me maiden. Soon be squaw.
Oh, gonna get married? Who to?
Me no tell.
Oh, bashful, huh? Well, just so long as it's not a bow and arrow wedding.
You go away?
Yep, up over the mountain.
Oh, no.
She came right up to me, took hold of my hand, and said,
You're a stranger in a strange land. If you will follow, oh, welcome to come and sleep in the village where I call my home.
The sun was fast sinking out on the prairie as I wandered along with my little Mohee. Together we wandered, together we rode, till we come to the village where she called it home.
Come, bridal dance soon starts.
Oh, where's the bridegroom?
Right here. See you.
Uh-oh. 'Twas early one morning in May, I broke her poor heart by the words I did say. I'm going to leave you, so farewell, my dear. I'm a-heading far west, through the mountains I steer. The last time I saw her, she knelt on the land, and so I departed. She waved me her hand, saying,
When you are tired, then please dream of me. Remember I love you, your little Mohee. Remember I love you, my little Mohee.
The curtain has fallen on the first act of the Theater Guild on the Air, presented by the United States Steel Corporation. Tonight we are bringing you Walter Kerr's Sing Out Sweet Land. Now, before our second act begins, here, speaking for United States Steel, is the well-known reporter of the American Broadcasting Company, George Hicks.
Good evening. Next Saturday, October 27th, is Navy Day. And all America will join in this day of well-deserved tribute to the mightiest Navy in the history of the world. Tonight I'm going to ask you to do a little remembering with me so that you can better appreciate our Navy and the miracle that made it grow so rapidly. Remember back in the first year of the war when submarine wolf packs were sinking our ships almost every day, when the precious lifeline of shipping to our forces abroad and to our allies was in mortal danger. And there was such a desperate cry for more ships and still more ships. Today you know well how that cry was answered by American shipbuilding and allied industries, answered with the mightiest Navy and merchant fleet that ever sailed the sea. But during that first year of America's vast shipbuilding program, It was a crucial race against time, and that race began in American steel mills. Back in that critical period of deadly submarine warfare, American steel mills were faced with the necessity of producing twice the tonnage of steel plates for ships they had ever produced before. Completing new plants would have taken nearly 2 years. Obviously, something little short of a miracle was called for, and the know-how of the American steelmaker did the trick. Here's a story of real ingenuity. Some years prior to the war, U.S. Steel had installed high-speed continuous mills for rolling thin sheets of steel for automobile bodies, refrigerators, tin cans, and many other products. The equipment for these fast-moving strip mills was never intended to produce thick steel plates for ships, but the men of U.S. Steel, working tirelessly day and night, found a way to convert them into plate mills, and they did it in record time. For example, at one Pittsburgh district plant, the complete change was rushed through in just 37 days, accomplished literally with bits and pieces found in U.S. Steel plants all over the country. Conversion of such peacetime sheet mills helped U.S. Steel increase its ship plate production 4-fold. A striking example of how construction and modernization of plant facilities in pre-war years, with the improvement of peacetime products, made it possible for U.S. Steel to meet the nation's #1 need in this critical emergency.
We pause now for station identification. We continue with the second act of Sing Out Sweet Land with Burl Ives and Arthur Godfrey and B.B. Osterwald, with Josh White and Betty Jane Watson.
Next time anybody see Barnaby, it was on the Oregon Trail. He was heading west with the 49ers, singing some and dancing some. The way my father tells it, the folks that set out to cross those plains in the wintertime, they needed some singing. My father told me how Barnaby come across a covered wagon one time, had a wheel with a busted spoke. He was looking around for a piece of wood to fix it. He saw a stake and yanked it out of the ground, and then all of a sudden he saw something in the hole he'd left.
How about this stake here? Make a good spoke. Hey, looky there. What's that?
Something yellow.
Look at it shine.
Just like gold.
Gold.
Gold!
Gold! It belongs to me.
Real gold?
Got no right.
You got no right, no,
I
sir.
want it for my kid.
You'll have to reckon with me first.
Hey! Who's been messing around with my gold claim? Who's laying claim to what I dug up with my bare hands? Who wants his neck between the same bare hands that's squeezing his insides out of him?
Over there. Him.
Barnaby.
Me?
He
Yeah.
pulled the stake
He found the
out.
gold.
He's the one that claimed
Get
it.
me out of here, quick. Goodbye, one side. Maybe you're changing your mind about that now, stranger.
Yep. I can't even remember what we was talking about. Suppose we could change the subject?
Be a lot of changes by morning. There'll be little left of you except a litter of bones and a set of teeth. You got any last requests?
Yep.
Well, they refused.
I've always been a singing man. Sure would like to sing now.
Singing. Don't mind that. Brings the coyotes are running all the faster. Go ahead and sing, stranger.
Well, it seems kind of foolhardy under the circumstances. But as the feller says, music hath charm. On top of Old Smoky, all covered with snow, I lost my true lover from a courting too slow. On top of Old Smoky, I went there to weep. A false-hearted lover is worse than a thief. For a thief he will rob you and take what you hate. But a false-hearted lover will send you to your grave. She'll hug you and kiss you and tell you more lies than the cross ties on the railroad or the stars in the sky on top of Old Smoky, all covered with snow. I lost my true lover from a courting too slow.
Stranger, you melted my heart. Can you ever forgive me? Put your arms around me and say you forgive me.
Well, can't we just hold hands?
I want your friendship, stranger. Will you be my partner?
Well, you see, I'm afraid I couldn't. I got to keep moving. Down Mississippi, maybe. I hear there's good music down south.
No, I can't stand it. We can't part this way. Take my gold.
Huh?
Take my gold. Wherever you go, carry it with you. And I'll know I got a friend with a soul full of music remembering this old mountain bar.
No, there ain't no man can sing and dance with all these big bags of gold hanging on him.
You don't like me. You won't take my gift.
What's my alternative?
Coyotes and the loss of my deep affection.
Coyotes, huh? I'll take the gold.
Friend, I thank you.
Don't mention it.
So long, partner.
So long. Keep your chin up.
So down into the south headed Barnaby, all bowed down under the weight of his bags of gold.
What about his banjo, Grandpa? What about his fiddle and his guitar?
No room for them. Just enough strength to lug those big bags of gold along with him down the Mississippi. My father told me he couldn't even get the energy to sing a song. But he was right about there being good music down in the South. He found it when he came on a group of Negro slaves working with sledgehammers and singing as they worked, rhythmically pounding out a road under the thick-trunked, moss-hung southern tree.
Won't you ring, old hammer? I'm going to talk about Moses. Well, God told Moses, oh, ring, old hammer. Why don't you ring, old hammer?
First thing Barnaby knew, they'd seen him and were all over looking at him.
Say, who's that man? I said, who's that man? What you got in them bags?
Lots of gold.
Where'd you get that gold?
Well, a fella give it to me.
Oh, you stole that gold?
No, I didn't.
Yes, you stole that gold. I says, ring, oh, ring, oh. Why don't you ring, oh, hammer, ring?
So you think I stole this gold? I'll give it to you to prove that I didn't. Here.
See here, stranger. Ain't gonna have nobody find no stolen gold on me.
Oh, won't you take it, please? Some of it? Just a little of it, maybe?
I told you I ain't got no use for that gold, mister.
Well, how about your girl? Couldn't you give it to your girl for a present?
I ain't giving none of that gold to my gal. I got a better present than that. Such as this. I gave my love a cherry that had no stone. I gave my love a chicken that had no bone. I told my love a story that had no end. I gave my love a baby with no crying. How can there be a cherry that has no stone? How can there be a chicken that has no bone? Whoever heard a story that never never ends. How can there be a baby with no crying? Well, a cherry, when it's blooming, it has no stone. A chicken, when it's picked, it has no bone. The story of I love you will never end. Oh, baby, when it's sleeping, there's no
Well, the way my father tells it, Barnaby kept right on going down the Mississippi.
These bags of gold?
Yes, sir. Too loaded down to sing or dance. And still pursued by Parson Killjoy's curse. About halfway through the last century, he found himself in New Orleans. He came into New Orleans on one of those big, fancy river boats, still lugging his bags of gold.
There's Lucy! Lucy! Oh, I'm so excited!
And the captain of the steamboat, he gave Barnaby some good advice.
Young feller, because I like you and because I know what you're carrying in them sacks.
Got some idea what I can do about it?
I just want to warn you, son, that this here riverboat's a crawling with gamblers. Watch out for 'em, son.
I surely will, Captain. I sure thank you for your kind advice.
No, look out, son.
You fellas gamblers?
They're the ones I warned you about.
You take money, do you?
We ain't in the market for corn silk.
Is it in your mind to join us in a little game?
Well, if I was to play cards with you for money, could I lose?
Why, of course. There's always that slight chance.
Well, can you teach me how to play?
I reckon.
Good enough for me. I'll join you.
One card only, $50. Mine's 9. What's yours?
9 spots on your card? You win. Only got 1 spot on mine.
Oh, only 1 spot. That's too bad.
Hey, can we bet higher this time?
Higher? Tell you what, I bet you my roll against your bag of gold. How's that?
Honest? The whole bag?
5 cards, no draw.
3, 4, 5.
Guess I got you again, partner. 3 kings.
Kings?
Mm-hmm. That's right. What'd you draw?
Well, I sure hope these queen ladies is lowering kings.
Happy to say they are.
Man, you had me scared for a minute. Had 4 of them.
Hey, Johnny, look out. Here comes the sheriff.
Sheriff, well, stranger, I guess 4 is better than 3. Take all the money.
Hey, now, see here. That ain't fair.
What's that? You say it ain't a fair game, brother? There's a nice jail waiting for folks who don't play a fair game in New Orleans.
You got a lot of relations in this country? I keep all the time seeing busybodies like you nosing around. Sir.
Any game under suspicion of foul play, the sheriff's office got to confiscate all the money. Sorry, folks.
You're taking away all the money from me?
That's law.
Whee, looky. I can sing and dance again.
Hey, now come back here, Scallowag.
Catch me, Whiskers.
I've caught you, all right.
You'll have to swim to do it. Man overboard. Goodbye, Sheriff. Goodbye, everybody.
In the Mississippi you can stay. But go on and sing your ditty from St. Tony and Mississippi, long as you can sing it pretty all the way. Anywhere, from the Loop to Mobile Bay. From the Hot to Kansas City, every day a different city. You can sing and call and pretty all the way. We're dancing tonight on the old campground. Give us a song to sing.
All the next part my father told me. He was a soldier in the Civil War, my father. And he remembers marching back and forth across the country, fighting and singing, too. And he told me how once when he was sitting around the campfire with some of the men in his troop, Barnaby come by and joined the circle. Just sat down and joined the others, unslung his guitar and started a-singing, song after song, while they asked for more.
Better quiet down some, fellas. The lieutenant's asleep in there.
Let him sleep. Sing some more, you.
Sing another. Sing it soft.
Yeah, I'll sing you a song that's Abe Lincoln's favorite song.
Yeah, sing it.
When I was young, I used to wait on the boss and give him his plate and pass the bottle when he got dry and brush away the blue-tailed fly.
Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. My master's gone away.
And when he'd ride in the afternoon, I'd follow after with a hickory broom, the pony being rather shy when bitten by a blue-tailed fly.
Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. My master's gone away.
One day he ride around the farm, the flies so numerous they did swarm. One chanced to bite him on the thigh. The devil take the boot-tail fly.
Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. My master's gone away.
The pony run, he jump, he pitch. He threw my master in the ditch. He died and the jury wondered why. The verdict was the blue-tailed fly.
Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. My master's gone away.
They lay him under a simmon tree. His epitaph is there to see. Beneath the stone I'm forced to lie, victim of a blue-tailed fly.
Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. My master's gone away.
What's going on here?
The lieutenant. Antoine!
Oh, that lieutenant. Sure looks familiar. Same old long, sharp, prying nose.
Who's this? Who are you?
You want my name, Lieutenant, sir, or my reputation?
Quiet. Now, see here. What are you, Union or Rebel?
I'm for the Union in a kind of a rebellious way.
Southern pants, northern jacket, southern hat. What kind of uniform you got on? What's the idea of wearing both kinds of clothes?
Well, I'm trying to get this country together in one piece.
What?
Spent a lot of time getting this country built, only to find I still got to pull it together.
What are you, a politician?
Nope. I fix folks up when the politicians get through with them.
How?
By joining them with a tune.
Who you for, north or south?
Well, I'm a little both.
Well, half spy and half deserter, eh? We'll shoot you in either case. Formation, men. Ready, aim.
Lieutenant, I got a message for you. The fella gave it to me down the road.
Message? Well, here, give it to me. What's this? General Lee surrender. Hey, the war's over, men. We're going home.
When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. The men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies sing, the laws ring out, the all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. When Johnny
The curtain has fallen on the second act of the Theater Guild on the Air, presented by the United States Steel Corporation. Tonight's production is Walter Kerr's Sing Out Sweet Land. Now, before our third act begins, here again for United States Steel is George Hicks.
Because next Saturday is Navy Day, I thought I'd take a trip out to the Federal Shipbuilding and Dry Dock Company of Kearney, New Jersey, one of the members of the United States Steel family, for a story about this builder of ships. You know, when a ship is built these days, it's usually put together something like a jigsaw puzzle. No longer do the builders start at the keel and work upwards. Instead, the various parts of the ship are built in different places. They're equipped with wires, pipes, machinery, and other fittings. Then the sections are picked up by giant cranes and fitted together like the pieces of a great puzzle. This is called prefabrication. This method of building has been tremendously important in helping our nation turn out the fleets of ships which drove our enemies from the seas and put our men on foreign shores. Because of prefabrication, our yards turned out more ships faster than anyone had ever dreamed of before. This process of prefabrication, I learned, was pioneered and developed 28 years ago by the Federal Shipbuilding and Dry Dock Company. And so when the emergency came and our Navy needed more and more ships, Federal Shipbuilding was ready. Ship after ship began to slide off the ways. The time required to construct a destroyer was cut from 18 months to less than 5. Federal Shipbuilding became the first shipyard in the world to launch 4 destroyers in a single day, and this was done again and again. A new shipyard was built at Port Newark, New Jersey, and operated by Federal Ship for the Navy. Freighters being built for the U.S. Maritime Commission were turned into fighters for the Navy. New types of ships were built, super troop ships, sub-killers, and various landing craft, ships to win control of the seas and cargo ships to use them. Now that the war is over and the totals are in, I can report to you that Federal Shipbuilding built 281 vessels, including everything from cruisers to barges, 281 fighting ships, more in number than the entire German Navy at the beginning of the war, a fleet that helped our great Navy sail to victory. This was the wartime contribution of the men and women of Federal Shipbuilding and Dry Dock Company, one of the members of the United States Steel family. Today, Federal has resumed its peacetime job of building vessels to carry on the commerce and the travel of our country.
We continue with the third act of Sing Out Sweet Land with Burl Ives, Arthur Godfrey, and B.B. Osterwald, Josh White, Betty Jean Watson, J. Scott Smart, and Will Gear.
After Barnaby had gotten their country back together again, didn't that take the curse off him?
Nope. There was still a lot of work he had to do. He was all over the country in the next few years, helping to build the railroads to join the people together even more. My Uncle Clem ran into him one afternoon at a new railroad station down in Texas when a train pulled up and a widow woman got off the train with her 3 little children. Barnaby, he was right there.
Take my arm, ma'am. I wish you my condolence.
Thank you, sir.
Mrs. Jones, you sure have lost a good man.
He sure was. Sure was. Sure was. Come all you rounders if you want to hear story about a brave engineer. Casey Jones was the rounder's name, and on a 6-8 wheel the boys he won his fame. Caller called Casey at 4:30, kissed his wife at the station door, mounted to the cabin with his orders in his hand, and took his farewell trip to the promised land.
Casey Jones, mounted to the cabin. Casey Jones, with his orders in his hand. Casey Jones, mounted to the cabin. Mounted to the cabin with his orders in his hand.
Put in your water and shovel in your coal. Put your head out the window, boys, watch some drivers roll. I'm going to run until she leaves the rail, 'cause I'm 6 hours late with the Western Mail.
He looked at his watch, and his watch was slow. He looked at his water, and his water was low. Turned to the fireman, and he said, I'm a-gonna reach Frisco, but we'll all be dead.
Casey Jones, gonna reach Frisco. Casey Jones, but we'll all be dead. Casey Jones, gonna reach Frisco. Gonna reach Frisco, but we'll all be dead.
Now Casey pulled up the Reno Hill. He tooted at the crossing with an awful shrill. Switchman knew by the engine's moans that the man at the throttle was Casey Jones. Pulled up within 2 miles of the place. Number 4 stared her right in the face. Turned to the fireman and said, Boy, you better jump, 'cause the 2 locomotives are a-going to bump.
Casey Jones, 2 locomotives. Casey Jones, are going to bump. Casey Jones, 2 locomotives. 2 locomotives that are going to bump.
Now Casey said,
just before he died. 2 more roads I'd like to ride. Fireman said, what might they be?
The Southern Pacific and the Santa Fe.
Mrs. Jones sat a bed sighing. Just received a message that a Casey man was dying.
Said, go to bed, children, and hush your crying, 'cause you got another papa on the Salt Lake line. Casey Jones got another papa. Casey Jones on the Salt Lake line. Casey Jones got another papa. Got another papa on the Salt Lake line.
Hey, you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I've been looking for you, Barnaby. Get out here and get to work. If one bum gets on them trains, I'll take it out of your hide. Remember what I told you now. One bum and I take care of you.
Yes, sir. Coast is clear, fellas. Come on.
Good for you, Barnaby.
Yeah. Your yard boss gone? Yeah, it's okay. I guess my plan's all ready to put into execution. Now, you listen to this song. This one will be yours.
Right.
On a summer's day, the month of May, a burly bum come a-hiking down a shady lane near the sugar cane. He was looking for his liking. As he strolled along, he sung a song of a land of milk and honey, where a bum can stay for many a day, and he won't need any money. Oh, the buzzing of the bees and the cigarette trees, the soda water fountain, where the lemonade springs and the bluebird sings in the Big Rock Candy Mountain. In the Big Rock Candy Mountain, the cops have wooden legs. The bulldogs all have rubber teeth. The hens lay soft-boiled eggs. The farmers' trees are full of fruit. The barns are full of hay. I want to go where there ain't no snow, where the sleet don't fall and the wind don't blow. In that Big Rock Candy Mountain. Oh, the buzzing of the bees and the cigarette trees, the soda water fountain, where the lemonade springs and the bluebird sings in that Big Rock Candy Mountain. Got that song okay?
Yeah, I can remember it okay.
Okay, hop the 1126, track 10, heading east. And get those bees a-buzzing, boy.
Yeah? What are you up to here with these bums?
Well, we're routing them all over the country so everybody will get to know everybody else's songs. Tie folks together even better than the railroads. Next.
I'm next.
Track 4 in 10 minutes. Me, I'm tipping out on the 245, headed east.
The years had slipped by, and Barnaby had crisscrossed the country a dozen times, stopping at campfires and church socials, chuck wagons and saloons, wherever and whenever people got together to sing and dance. The first time I ever saw him myself, he was sitting back on a park bench in a big city with his hat on the back of his head and his fingers snapping and his blue eyes twinkling as he watched us young folks pass by in front of him. Watched us and listened to us.
What a story grew up one day in the merry, merry month of May. I was taken by surprise by a paradise night. Here the Lord by the heart was all away, and oh, my, she looked so sweet. La 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 la. A little girl I'd like to meet. La 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 la. A smile shone she got from me. La 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 la. A customer happy as can be. La 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 la. I immediately raised my hand, and finally I remarked, I never shall forget that Sunday afternoon. I met him at the fountain in the park,
Next time I saw Barnaby, he had a job as a singing waiter in one of those speakeasies that people were going to in those days. Nervous days. Everybody running around in circles. People only thinking about taking more money like those big city tycoons. I can remember how they acted.
89, 95, 102, 112. Zowie, another million. Buy more Bell and Bell. 1,000 shares. Hurry, hurry.
Yes, sir.
130, 140, 160. Wow, call my wife.
Yes, sir.
Hurry, hurry. I won't be home. Hurry, hurry. Gotta relax. Gotta have fun.
Yes, sir.
180. Hurry, hurry. Call a nightclub.
Yes,
Reserve
sir.
a table.
Yes, sir.
Hurry, hurry. 206. Buy a yacht. Buy a stable.
Yes, sir.
Worry, worry. No need to fret. 220. Go on a binge. I'm full of plenty.
Yes, sir.
Open up. Maxie knows me. I'm known here. Hello, Maxie. Making whoopee tonight?
Hello, sucker. Sit down and get tight. And you waiter, Barnaby, sing him a song.
I can't sing this stuff, ma'am. The spirit's all wrong.
Can't sing, you're fired. You make me tired.
I'm at the crest. Bigger and bigger. Hello, girls. Join me in the jigger. Let's have music loud and fast.
Come on, girls. Dance when you're asked. Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, don't mean maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. Oh, yes, ma'am, we've decided. No, ma'am, we won't hide it. Yes, ma'am, you're invited now. Oh, by the way, now when we meet that creature, we'll say, we're feeling, yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, don't mean maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now.
Bad days. The next time I saw Barnaby, he was lying on a park bench in Central Park, and I could see there were holes in the bottoms of his shoes. I was going over to say something to him when I noticed he was looking at a chap sitting 2 benches down. The fellow wasn't dressed any warmer than Barnaby. Seemed to have something on his mind. Plucked at a guitar he had and told us about it.
Little man walked up and down. He found an eating place in town. He read the menu through and through to see what 15 cents could do. 1 meatball, 1 meatball. He could afford but 1 meatball. He told the waiter near at hand the simple dinner he had planned. The guests were startled, one and all, to hear that waiter loudly call, what? 1 meatball, 1 meatball. Hey, this here gent wants 1 meatball. You know the little man felt ill at ease. He said, some bread, sir, if you please. The waiter hollered down the hall, you get no bread with 1 meatball, 1 meatball, 1 meatball. Well, you get no bread with 1 meatball. Yes, the little man felt very bad. 1 meatball was all he had, and in his dream he hears that call, you get no bread with won me, boy.